and welcome to Crush on This. I'm Allison Levine from Please the Palate, and I'm joined today with Cindy Rinning from Grape Experiences and Christine Campbell from Girls Go Grape. We're so excited to have you join us today as we talk about California red wines. I know, that's a really big category, and you're probably going, wow, California red wines, like what is she thinking? We by no means think that we're gonna tackle the entire state today, because there are 248 recognized AVAs in 33 states in the country, and half of those, more than half of those, are in California. We have 139 AVAs, American Viticultural Areas, here in California, with wine grapes in at least 46 of California's 58 counties. It means we have a lot of wine made here. We know a lot of the typical regions: Napa, Sonoma, San Ynez Valley, Lodi, Paso Robles, Temecula, but there are a lot of other little sub-AVAs and areas. They make wine in Malibu and Los Angeles and San Diego and on and on. So, and I feel bad I didn't mention Mendocino and all the other areas. There's so much wine made in California. But because it's National Red Wine Day, since I'm a Californian, I wanted to task my two friends to pick California wines. So I'm curious, Miss Canada, how'd you do picking a California wine?
It was pretty simple, actually. Canada loves California wine, and that's kind of a no-brainer. It's readily available in our market. And I've been able to go down to Sonoma. I visited Napa, so I have definite a bit of a love affair going on with some of those specific regions. I've visited Paso and Lodi.
We've traveled together in
all three of us have traveled together.
Yeah. And of course, Cindy, I mean, I know California wine is easily accessible in Chicago.
Definitely.
I was just always curious how much Canada gets. You have your own wine region, and
a lot.
Yeah. What did you pick up today?
So my selection is Lake Sonoma Winery 2017 Cabernet Sauvignon. I was introduced to Cabernet Sauvignon, early days of drinking and enjoying red wine. But the reason why I chose this specific bottle is because there is a British Columbia connection. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Okay, so Lake Sonoma Winery is a part of Stewart family estate, and they are a third generation pioneering Canadian family who first planted their Okanagan Valley estates in 1961. And the Stewart family estates acquired Lake Sonoma in 2013. So I just wanted to give a nod to California, but as a BC focus as well. I am a BC girl at heart, and I'm a cheerleader. But this is really super yummy. It's got subtle tannins. It's got like lovely, lovely violets on the nose, black currant, kind of sweet chewing tobacco, everything that I want in a Cabernet Sauvignon, actually. And I would say that this is quite age-worthy. I would happily lay this down for another 10 years, and I think it would be fantastic. So that's me.
How much does it sell for?
This in the BC liquor store, so that's our government store, it's just about $29 Canadian. So it doesn't break the bank at all, and it's worth it.
Yeah, it's always interesting to know, like, if wines are more expensive because they're crossing international borders and the markups. So that's still a rather affordable price.
Yeah, and I love the connection with British Columbia and California. That's great.
I know a few other Canadian winemakers in California. I'm not saying they're making in both places, but Cliff Lady in Napa is Canadian, and
he's a Vancouverite, I think, actually.
So you're everywhere.
Exactly. Still in North America.
What about you, Cindy? What did you open today?
Well, with all of the California wines I can put my hands on, it was a really tough choice. I think I changed my mind 10 times. But I finally settled in to an area where I'm really looking forward to exploring more of, the Santa Lucia Highlands in Monterey County. This is 2017 Cattleya Syrah, and it's called The Initiation. I'm just going to get to that in just a minute. The producer is Bibiana Gonzalez Ravi, and she is from Colombia. And I had a really great opportunity to meet her virtually a few weeks ago on Twitter, a virtual tasting. She studied chemical engineering and business in Columbia, but she found that wine bug, as you know, we all know everyone does at some point, like all three of us did. But she went to Cognac and studied viticulture and enology, worked harvests, had a job there, and then came to the United States. She came, I think 2004 was her first harvest. And currently she is a consulting winemaker. She's married to Jeff Pizzoni of Pizzoni Vineyards, and she has her own label, Cattleya. The Cattleya is, and here's this beautiful label, it's the flower from Colombia, which I think is a wonderful homage to her native country. The initiation indicates that in 2011, Cattleya was born, so to speak, in 2011 with a single barrel Syrah from the Sobranis vineyard. And as she says, it marks her journey into winemaking with her own wine label. And she also felt that with Syrah being from the Rhone Valley, that just meant a lot to her. And I just love this wine. This is 100% Syrah, and it's powerful but elegant. It's got these minerality, acidity, structured tannins. It's really framed and balanced. It's blackberries, cigar box, green tea, white pepper. It's got everything you want in a really good wine. And it really begs for a stew or a barbecue or something like that. So Syrah lovers, you're gonna love this. It is $70, but as we've said so many times on our chats, it's quality. You get what you pay for in this wine, and I'm really happy to talk about it. So it's delicious. Might have to have another one.
She is just one of the loveliest people as well. I've met her in person as well, and she's as lovely as her wine bar.
Yeah, I just had another sip, and you know, it's been open for about 30 minutes now. It's just so balanced, just absolutely beautiful. Really, I could sip this by itself, which, you know, I just might.
Well, for me, I picked a wine that I am falling in love with more and more each day, all their different wines, but it's the Acorn Winery.
Yes.
And the Alegria Vineyard and Russian River Valley 2014. And it's Acorn Hill. And this is a wonderful winery. Bill and Betsy Nachbauer, I met Betsy through some Zoom tastings, and we chat, you know, every Wednesday morning over coffee with some other people. And I've grown to absolutely love them and everything they're doing. They bought their historic 32-acre property in Sonoma that had a heritage going back to the 1890s. And so they have sort of continued that tradition. And what I mean by that is, you know, in California, when it was first planted, who knows what they were planting? They were planting grapes, and there were interplantings and cross plantings. And when they would do a harvest, they just picked whatever grapes were in the row and they fermented it. And so in that sort of honor, they do the same thing. They do field blends, and they have 40 different grape varieties growing at the Alegria Vineyards, their home estate. They have grapes from Zinfandel and Petit Syrah, Carignan, but they also have like Alicante Boucher, and they have Dolcetto, they have Fresia, they have Graciano, they have Plavik Mali from Croatia. I mean, just like some funky, fun grape varieties growing there. So for this blend, they call this sort of their super Tuscan, meaning it is a blend of Syrah and Sangiovese, 49% of each. And what that is the two rows, the Sangiovese and Syrah are planted side by side, but they're interplanted with Viognier, Mamolo, and Canaiolo. Gotta get my Italian going. Canaiolo. And there's like 0.5% of those grapes in. So they harvested for this particular one, the 2014, they harvested the Sangiovese and the Syrah separately. They were ready at different times, but there was the interplanting. So they got picked up, they were fermented separately. And as soon as fermentation ended, they were all blended together for the result that we have here. And what I love about it is, I know that there's very, very, very little Viognier, but there's almost like this kind of floral lift to the wine from that. And it's got kind of those red and dark fruit notes, but also a little bit of like cedar, a little bit of those kind of more secondary characteristics. And it's just a really pretty wine on the palate because I'm gonna take a sip real quick. I've been drinking it. I love it because it's got really soft tannins, which means you can sip it just like this. It's not something that's demanding food, but it's also a wine that would be great with like, you know, grilling, roasting kind of meats, you know, it's not going to be overpowering because of that acidity and tannin balance. And it retails for about $48, $49. And it's just a really pretty wine, but also really representative of the history of California field blends. And
Definitely. Well, I love how they are adding a white grape to the blend. I think that's real. I think I've been seeing more and more producers do that. And I think there's something to be said for that because like you said, Allison, it gives that lift, that aromatics that the Viognier is well known for. I love that. Creativity. Yeah. Great.
It's really fun. So they have other wines. They have a beautiful rosé, and I'm looking forward to kind of delving into the rest of their wines. And it's a really fun thing to taste these blends that are made in the field as opposed to made in the winery. So, exactly. Well, I mean, thank you guys for sharing your California reds, and cheers to red wine. We want to thank you for joining us on Crush on This. We hope you enjoyed. We'd love to know what some of your favorite California red wines are. Big list of wines to choose from. So we hope to see lots of responses with suggestions, big brands, small brands, you name it, from places we may not know in California to, you know, the big regions. But, you know, leave your comments below. Subscribe to us on YouTube, and we will see you next time on Crush on This.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.